Let's start off today with a bunch of supports. That's basically going to be the rest of the... until we get to the end of the month. That'll basically be the rest of the month. Supports. I guess we'll just go with Hubert first. Him and Ferdinand's final support.
Hello, Ferdinand. Wait, that aroma.
Is it a new cologne? Or perhaps some tea? Or it could just be those flowers over there.
Your nose is as sharp as ever, Hubert. Yes,
Ooh.
it is a bag of fresh coffee beans.
How fresh?
Why did you buy coffee? You said you don't care for it.
But you do.
My stance has not changed. Drab, bitter, with that muddy texture. If I have even a sip, my hands start to tremble.
I literally have coffee right here.
Rather harsh. What are you doing?
I've been drinking it for years.
Well, you see, but wait a moment. What is that? Is that an imported tea from the East?
They each got what the other liked. It's actually really sweet.
It is indeed. Keen eyes.
Flaunting
buying
my
for
favorite
tea.
drink right in front of me. And you do not even drink tea. Fiendish.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. Hubert is very fiendish, but this is a really kind gesture, I think.
It is for Edelgard, I assume.
No.
Before I answer that, I would like to know what you are doing with the coffee.
Well,
Oh my. I don't think I've ever seen Ferdinand blush like that.
Is it a gift? Perhaps for someone you fancy?
Maybe.
A gift, yes. For you.
Who is the unlucky... Did you say for me?
Yes, he did. Nice delayed reaction, Hubert.
This coffee is a gift for me. Have I heard you correctly?
Think so.
Yes, that is what I said. A noble does not go back on his word. Just take it.
I should decline.
You should, but you won't.
Why?
The thought of receiving a gift from you, unbidden and unreciprocated, fills me with revulsion.
What's that gonna be unreciprocated? For long, you have that tea for him.
Therefore, accept this tea as a gift from me.
Aw.
For me? Are you certain? I would hate to deprive the intended recipient of such a fine tea.
Ah, but you see, you are the intended recipient.
That would be difficult to do, since I bought it with you in mind.
I feel like we've seen Edelgard drink tea, but she's not like a connoisseur like you are, Ferdinand.
Oh, in that case, thank you. What? You were planning to give this to me all along?
Hubert's soft side.
That is what I said.
Same with Hubert. I don't think I've ever seen him blush either. It's kind of creepy, actually.
Really?
Two tsunderes realizing they just should have confessed all along.
Only one thing to do. We must take a tea break.
Followed immediately by a coffee break.
Very well. But tea is not what I will be drinking.
Of course. I will make you some coffee.
Sounds like a plan.
And I will prepare the tea.
It's strangely wholesome for these two, who were at each other's throats at the start. I think I got a romantic connotation there. Oh, I just realized most of these are with Byleth. So far, at least. Let's see. Bernie and Yuritsa. We'll save you for last. Never mind. We'll save you for first and last. That looked good. Dude, just
Lately,
Yuritsa
I've
and
noticed that
Bernie
our
eating
lunch
together.
times seem to coincide with one another's, and I...
Huh.
Oh no, am I bothering you? I am, aren't I?
Aw.
Knew you were getting too carried away, Bernie.
Nah, if you were bothering him, you would probably be dead.
I mean, it's no wonder you don't want to have lunch with me anymore. Just having me around probably makes your food taste awful.
Oh my... Never, Bernie. In fact, I bet it tastes even better. But it tastes nice and sweet, just like you.
My food tastes the same as it always does. I was merely stating a fact about our lunches coinciding.
It's still amazing how she doesn't freak out about the fact that you're Death Knight.
Oh,
But I am curious as to why you want to eat with me. It isn't that you...
please forgive me.
You found your nemesis.
I'm so sorry. I've been using you to avoid people.
Oh, diabolical, Bernie. Because everyone else avoids Yuritsa, so you can use him to avoid other people. It's ingenious.
The truth is, hardly anyone ever comes near us, and it's been such a relief.
That's it? Well then, I don't mind.
Aw.
Huh? You don't?
When last we spoke, you mentioned feeling a kinship to me.
Not to the Death Knight, though.
So I wondered if you were thinking that we may be kindred spirits of a sort.
Maybe in a few aspects.
Oh? I mean, of course not, Yuritsa. I didn't mean anything like that at all. Kindred spirits? Us?
I just never get tired of seeing Bernie flustered.
But I mean, totally hypothetical here, but, if I did think we were kindred spirits, would, there be a problem with that?
I don't think so, Bernie. I don't think so.
Yes, there
Oh.
would. The reason
Never mind.
I
There would be.
dislike people is because if I don't keep my distance, it is only a matter of time before I kill them.
It is a problem.
If you continue spending time near me, death may find its way to you.
I don't think even Death Knight could want to kill Bernie.
Oh, I see.
Not sure how to take that.
I'm not quite sure how to say this, but I'm willing to take the risk.
The lengths you'll go to avoid people, right?
I mean, we're in the middle of a war. I could die at any point now, even tomorrow.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
So, if being near you means feeling comfortable during my final hours, well, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
Aw. Now Yuritsa, not sure how to take that.
I wasn't entirely honest with you just now about the whole kindred spirits thingy.
Aw.
You want the real truth? I actually think we are. You and I have a whole lot in common.
Well. Though some very big things not in common.
We both had a dark, troubling past.
That's true,
We
though.
both built walls around ourselves in response to that, to keep people out.
Though in different ways. But yeah, I suppose that's true.
Me? I take all my past hurts out on myself. But you, Yuritsa, you take yours out on the world.
Yeah, I suppose that's a way of looking at it.
Maybe that's why you harm people.
Bernie with the deep psychological insights.
That was really overstepping, wasn't it?
There she is again. And she's gone. I wonder what your guys' shared ending is like. Alright. Time to move on.
Professor?
Hello, Dorothea. I don't believe in the goddess, but I do believe in you. You've taught us all so much, Professor. You've even taught me to have faith. You want to... Oh! No, I very specifically chose your goals just now. Sorry. Support? Ooh, Lysithia.
Thank you for helping me with my training again today, Professor.
Anytime, Lysithia.
I'm gonna keep at it for a while longer, so you go on ahead.
Don't push yourself too hard. I do know about your situation. You should get some rest.
I can't. Not when I'm right on the cusp of using my power to greater potential.
Your dedication in the face of your situation is truly admirable, Lysithia.
Surely you yourself are tired. Just don't worry about me, okay?
Never. I'll always worry about you. Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, Professor. It was careless of me to continue, despite how fatigued I clearly was.
Oh, yeah. If I wasn't there, you'd been, possibly in some trouble.
I probably should have listened to you. Now I've made a mess of things.
It's okay, Lysithia.
I can't help but feel the need to rush in all things constantly. You get that way when you realize you haven't got much time.
Oh. I know what you mean.
18 years ago, House Ordelia was involved in a civil conflict within the Empire. All we did was respond to a call for aid. We weren't involved politically.
But... damn. Those who slither in the dark.
But once the rebellion was crushed, my family was held responsible for the aid we gave, and the Empire gained some sway over us as a result.
And more specifically, I presume, Lord Arundel.
At the time, the noble houses of the Alliance took a passive stance. No one lent aid to my family. As a result, some key officials within the family were killed, and people from the Empire were sent to replace them. Among those people were some mysterious mages. They were unsettling, in a word. Skin pale as death.
Fucking Argarthians.
One after another, they captured and imprisoned the children of our household. They began performing terrible rituals on the children, though it's probably more accurate to call them experiments.
Yeah. Precursors, I presume, for... or I still presume, rather. Pretty sure the timeline lines up correctly where this was a sort of trial run for what they were going to do to Edelgard's family, and Edelgard specifically.
With the Empire monitoring our every move, my parents could do nothing but watch in horror as all of this unfolded. One after another, the children died, until the only one left was me.
Oh.
You know, my hair wasn't always this color.
Yep. You also have the albino eyes as well.
During their experiments, they'd been doing things with my blood. One morning, I awoke like this. A shock of white hair, all trace of pigment gone. Upon seeing me, the mages were delighted. They realized that their experiments had finally succeeded.
Yeah, bet they were. We'll kill them all. Hopefully.
Sure enough, they ran a test and saw that two crests coexisted within me. Losing pigment from my hair wasn't the only loss.
Also your lifespan.
The mages informed me that my lifespan was now greatly shortened.
I wonder how they knew.
5 more years at most. Perhaps less.
How awful.
Shortly thereafter, the mages lost interest in me, and we never saw them in the Ordelia household again.
They just wanted to see that they could do it. Consequences be damned.
Since all that, our family has been in decline. It's challenging now even to govern our territory.
Yeah, imagine losing basically most of the members of your family will do that.
After all my mother and father have suffered, I at least want them to have peace as they grow older. That is all I wish for, but I haven't much time to ensure it comes to pass.
We'll make sure you have the time you need. I hope. I have very little control over the, well, at least not without extraordinary cost. Over who you get your ending with. It's too soon to give up.
It's not like what's been done to me can be undone.
No, never say never. Let's try to find a way to undo it.
Professor,
I know two people who are very good with crests.
the only way I can conceive of would be to remove my crest somehow. But I don't know if that's even remotely possible. Even if it were, I wouldn't be of much use to you and the others without my crests.
Nah. Your crests are more like the cherry on top when it comes to your magical power. We'll find a way.
You sound resolved. I'll allow your resolve to bolster my own. Thank you, Professor.
Good old Lysithia. Think we're gonna have one like every day this week. Annette! Is this our A support?
I'm so sorry, Professor. I somehow
No, I
overslept
don't think so.
and missed our training session.
Oh, don't worry, Annette.
I didn't mean to cause you and the others so much trouble.
It's okay. It happens.
Imagine if that had happened when I was needed in battle. It really is inexcusable.
You need to rest more.
It's just, when I'm studying tactics, I lose track of time and...
Nope. You pick a time. No matter what, you put down whatever you're doing and you go to bed then.
Oh, who am I kidding? I've always been like this. Before I came to the Officers Academy, I was a student at the School of Sorcery in Ferdiad.
Right.
Even back then, I was pulling all-nighters well before the exams.
It's not great for your committing things to memory to do it the night before.
And I never even noticed I was harming myself. I'm just too focused on my goal. I know I've already told you this, but I really love to learn new things.
Yeah. You're incredibly studious.
It's a passion of sorts. I first realized I had the learning bug when I was about 4 or 5 years old. My father was so happy to see me using magic. Seeing him happy made me happy too. And that made me want to work even harder.
Aw.
If only things could have stayed like that.
Gilbert. What do you mean?
When I was about 13, my father left home.
He will have his day of reckoning. Even if it is when I'm in the Blue Lions.
He was a devout man, so I figured he'd gone to the monastery. That's why I went to the School of Sorcery, so that I could eventually get accepted at the Officers Academy. I studied harder than ever, and sure enough, I finally earned a referral.
You deserve it.
Unfortunately, my passion for learning became more of an obsession. I got so focused, I kind of forgot how to relax.
Should have taken you to the sauna. I'll teach you to relax.
Feels like I've been running in circles ever since.
Rest is just as important as work.
That's true. Just look at today. If my hard work stops me from working hard, what good is it?
Exactly.
Okay, it's decided. From now on, I'll try my best not to try my best.
There you go. I think you have my support.
Yay! With you on my side, I'm sure I'll succeed.
She really is just so adorable sometimes.
From now on, if you see me going overboard, just let me know. I'm a new woman after all.
I'll be sure to do that. Oh, I look forward to seeing even more of your supports in the Blue Lions. Caspar!
Do you have a minute, Professor? I gotta talk to you.
Of course.
I've been thinking a lot about those brigands with the scorpion tattoos, and I realized something.
Oh yeah. What about him?
I mean, I'll feel better if I get this off my chest, right?
I guess. I don't know what it is. Let's hear it.
Okay, listen. I think I can't deny who I am.
Okay.
I know you were right 5 years ago when you told me not to chase after that suspicious guy.
Man, this has really been eating him up. He's still thinking about it 5 years later.
But I still can't get over the possibility that he might have hurt those kids.
You're not exactly wrong. I mean, hindsight is 20/20.
I would have regretted not stopping him for the rest of my life. There's no way I could forgive myself. It sounds awful to say, but the safety of those kids is more important to me than the nights we lost. I'm sorry, Professor, but I can't promise that I won't disobey your orders in the future.
I mean, it's my job to take that into account. That's okay.
I know. It's too big a risk to keep me around.
No, it isn't. You caused, as I remember it, a mild... Wait, no, yeah, I think some knights did die from that. But no, you made a decision, and you've had to live with the consequences, and you'll make more decisions in the future and have to live with those consequences. You can never know what the right action is ahead of time. You can only do your best.
I won't cause a fuss. I'll just pack my bags and... Wait, what?
It's okay. I think you misunderstood.
I guess so. You're really okay with me sticking around, even if I might not always follow orders? People could get hurt if you let me keep doing things my way.
Well, I'll be sure to reprimand you if you do anything too reckless. We'll make it work, though.
Just like that? I almost can't believe it. I really struggled to come to this decision, you know?
It's okay, Caspar. I can kick you out if you really want me to, but I'd miss you.
I want to stand by your side, but I won't stop standing up for what I believe in.
I'd have it no other way.
I know I might cause trouble for everyone, but I just... You know, I give up. I've got nothing else to say. I should have just kept my mouth shut.
No, I mean, this has clearly been just tearing you up inside, so it's better that you got this out in the open. It's okay. I'm counting on you.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Professor. Thanks for accepting me for who I am.
I love who you are.
I'm glad I get to keep fighting by your side.
I'm glad you get to keep fighting by my side, too. You've really grown. Excellent. Whose birthday? Oh, it's Hubert's birthday. Sorry, I don't have the money for you, Hubert. I'm sure you wouldn't appreciate the flowers anyways.
Look, Professor, we did great!
Excellent.
I'll do my best with this.
Wonderful. That'll be useful, maybe. Okay, we're gonna have one more week after this. And with that, we're maxed out. Sword Fair.
I've
Oh,
fully
yeah.
grasped this topic.
I remember Sword Fair, I think. Combat arts, no, that would be an ability. What's that one? I wonder if I can stack it. Probably not worth it. I think the plus 10 to Gambit Might's actually pretty nice. And he hasn't been really struggling with attack. Alright. I'm kind of running out of food items, and it's just not effective enough to finish up here, it seems. Where you guys are. The two twins. And the Wazier. So we're just gonna see about finishing this off with some renown.
Why, hello there.
Hello. Okay, for Edelgard, we need We need Edelgard with Lysithia. Yes, please.
If it is your wish.
Edelgard's being the highest priority. I like the sound she makes. Since she won't be there for the next any of the further routes.
In your grasp.
Okay. And then I believe Hanneman.
If it is your wish.
It is my wish. Hopefully those were enough.
Everything is within your... Come back soon now.
Alright, let's see. Well, we got that one. So apparently it isn't enough to fill an entire A-bar. Good to know.
Why, hello there.
And it doesn't tell you here when it's ready. It's good to check after each one, it looks like.
If it is your wish.
There we go. Let's start with... Well, let's actually use up our renown first to get all these supports. Alright, we have a bunch of supports ready to go. A few gaps, so we have plenty of renown left to fill in the gaps. But this will cover most of the main ones, I think. We'll start off with Constance and Ferdinand.
You there.
Him there.
Ah, is there something I can do for you, Constance?
I don't know how often Ferdinand is addressed as you there. But Constance, of all people, can get away with it.
Is there something you can do? Of course there is.
Constance is always looking for some experimental partners. Partners to experiment on, I should say.
Well, what is it?
It ought to be plain.
No.
I do not follow. Please, clarify what you mean.
Have you forgotten the day I revealed to you my silly little dream?
You wanted him to help you with it, but yeah, what specifically, though?
If you weren't paying attention, I shall be cross.
And if Constance is cross, that's when you start exploding.
Oh, yes. You must be referring to the oblique request you made concerning peaks and valleys. Not seeing a peak ahead of you, you hoped I might help lift you out of your lowly
Precisely. You've summed it up completely.
I do love her.
Now that you know of what I speak, I want you to forget it immediately. Act as if you heard nothing.
Wait, what? Constance is great, but she is ever confusing.
You want me to forget the occasion you just asked me to remember. I see.
Okay.
Before I discard this memory entirely, might I be so bold as to ask why?
Yes, please enlighten us, Constance.
Is it not obvious? I don't want my weakness bandied about.
I don't think Ferdinand's gonna gossip.
I vowed to restore House Nouvelle through my own grand achievement.
Right?
Just as I would not abandon this dream, I would not accept it being handed to me.
I mean, you need assistance from your friends, though, right? That's not being handed.
Though if I am to be quite honest, the real reason is that letting you in on this vulnerability was an indiscretion I won't repeat.
Hey, you've actually let a lot of people in on this vulnerability, Constance.
I see. What a curious situation.
I don't take your meaning.
What is that on your hips? They kind of look like claws.
5 years ago,
Wolverine claws.
the cladding of my highborn status stripped away, I was vulnerable and exposed. To borrow your words, I was in a valley, and a thick shroud of fog obscured the peak before me.
Ah, but your nobility shined through that fog.
Now, the cloud has lifted a bit, and I can see a glimpse of what lies ahead.
And what, dare I ask, do you see?
All right, now you.
There is a towering cliff for you to scale, and a long, rocky path lying ahead of me. Rather than ascending separately, we can join hands and face these obstacles together.
Oh,
Then, we can reach the heights of our forebears. Or, dare I say, even higher.
Constance is quite the noble figure, I will say. Maybe it's a good match.
Even higher, you say?
At least this Constance is.
Now you remind me once more of the boy I knew. I have but one concern.
And what might that be?
Yes, what?
That I shall outpace your laggardly efforts.
You just have to drag him along.
Huh? I was being sincere, you know.
Oh, she is. She's being sincere too. Never tire of your laugh. Oh. And so they'll drag each other along to higher peaks than even their forebears. Okay, let's do some mercy. And we'll do Lawrence and then Alois.
Mercedes, I have heard that you are the daughter of imperial nobility. Is that the case?
That is the case.
It is.
Though she abandoned that title.
And you have a crest as well. Is that not so?
Again, it is.
Yeah.
Why did you not tell me? I was under the impression you were a commoner.
I mean, does it really matter?
I didn't mean to hide it from you, but you never asked. Besides, I am considered common now.
Yeah. I mean, you're anything but common, but
I don't care to flaunt my noble past or my crest.
of course not. You are just so wonderful.
I have no desire to return to that status.
Then, if I may speak hypothetically a moment,
You're not going to propose, are you?
does that mean that if a nobleman were to offer you his hand in marriage, you would decline?
I think that depends on the nobleman.
Not at all. That's a separate matter entirely.
As long as it's not that bastard, don't remember his name, that her quote-unquote father, we'll call him fake father, wants, I mean, the House Bartrells. Oh no, wait. Yeah, House Bartrells is Euritha's father. Also fake father. Both of those were bad fathers. I don't know much about her actual father. Did he die? That would explain why the mother remarried. They might have said already. They probably did.
Even if I were to fall in love, regardless of their social status, I'm not looking to marry right now.
Oh, right, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, as long as it's not that one asshole that he picked out.
Forgive my rudeness. I am merely envious of your flexible outlook.
Lawrence, just admit you have a crush.
It is a posture that I might very well adopt. Not to say that I hang upon your every word, of course.
You mean in terms of love and marriage?
Precisely. Status should be no impediment to love.
Coming from Lawrence, that's surprising.
But if you marry a woman who isn't a noble, then haven't you neglected your duty?
Is that little sarcasm I hear in there, Mercedes?
Not exactly, no. What I said was that my marriage must benefit House Gloucester. So long as that holds true, the bloodline of my partner is actually irrelevant.
Yeah, I suppose so.
For instance, if she bore a crest and was at one time considered noble,
I could maybe look the other way as to her common status.
Well, now that doesn't sound flexible at all. How can you know if someone will benefit your family?
Would you investigate her before allowing yourself feelings? That doesn't sound very noble of you.
I like how Mercedes under no false pretenses about what this conversation's about.
That is not what I...
I'm sorry, Lawrence. I was only teasing.
She is a surprising tease at times. Hidden behind that her naturally nice nature.
I'm sure your lack of tact is what women find so irresistible.
That had to be sarcasm.
Come again?
Oh, nothing at all. I hope you do your family proud and fulfill your duty.
Yes, I most certainly will.
And Lawrence just flies right over his head. That's great. All right, Alois. Looks like I also have to get Constance in there.
The time has come.
Oh, yes.
To curse your soul with this tale of ghostly terror.
Yes. Please keep doing the voice, Mercedes. Also, wonderful location.
You have? Well, excellent. I won't run or hide.
Oh, you'll be running at the end.
And we shall proceed.
Too bad you don't have a flashlight. Damn it. Or a torch or something. A campfire, at least.
Our story begins when a friend of mine visited a graveyard in eastern Fargus.
I'm at the edge of my seat.
Oh, wait.
Whatever's the matter, Eloise? I've barely just begun.
You got to the graveyard part so quickly. No warning at all. I wasn't ready.
Oh, Eloise, this is adorable.
Listen to me. What kind of knight am I? Continue, Mercedes. I won't make another peep.
Oh, you'll make a peep. You'll hear screams of terror. It'll be wonderful. You would not do well with horror movies.
Very well then. Now where was I?
The graveyard.
Ah, yes. My friend went to visit his grandfather's grave, staying the night at a neighboring church.
Okay. He's already worried. Poor Eloise.
As darkness crept, he awoke to a strange sound. He peered out into the black of night to see a misshapen figure desecrating the graves.
The horror.
He barricaded himself in his room, waiting for the first glimmer of sunlight before fleeing the church. My friend soon learned that the graveyard was built on the ruins of an ancient battlefield. Legend says that the souls of knights who fell during the battle roam freely after dark. He was
Ghosts,
sure
Alois.
that the misshapen figure he saw was the ghost of a warrior searching for its earthly remains. After his stay at the church, my friend complained of restless nights and an unbearable weight on his chest. His closest friends and family feared a change in his eyes, as though it wasn't him occupying his body. No one knows for certain what happened that night. After years of isolation, his body was found in the very graveyard where it all began. Alois? Did you hear me? I said, in the very graveyard where it all began.
Is he already, stunned with terror? Or, It is delayed terror, I guess.
What happened? Is it over?
Did you, were you stunned with the... did the scary stories literally make your heart freeze?
I blacked out after the part with the misshapen figure.
Oh, that's a ways back.
I'm a knight. I have to be ready to fight anywhere, even in a spooky graveyard.
With all the ghosts.
I don't think many battles take place in graveyards in the middle of the night.
Hope we make sure to make one. If nothing else, as a prank for Alois.
But I suppose it's important to be prepared, isn't it?
Precisely. Please, Mercedes, help me prepare.
Another one.
Of course. I'm happy to share another spooky story next time.
I love how much she's dived into the role. It's a true shame we don't get another one. That should be an A support. Or we should just get spooky stories, ghost stories with Mercedes. Let's do Yuri and Dorothea.
All right, Yurikins, isn't it about time you let go of this grudge?
Oh? Oh, right.
I'm sorry I dragged you out onto the stage, but
Oh,
I can't
right.
believe you're still holding it against me.
You actually went through with it then.
I bear no grudge.
Then why do you get this stony look and face the other way anytime you catch a glimpse of me?
That's just his face. Perhaps because he actually likes you.
Oh, Ladybird. Be
Ladybird.
told when I see you, it reminds me of my own self-loathing, of my past.
No.
Huh. I didn't know you were carrying something like that.
Yeah.
You rose up from your hardships and became the lead singer for a prestigious opera, all on your own.
Yes, she did. She is very impressive.
While I made my way through the world by licking the boots of wretched nobles, watching you on stage from the sidelines. It wasn't until recently that I felt a real sense of accomplishment in my life. But recalling that first pivotal moment when I saw you on stage,
I guess feeling a little inadequate or something.
you were brilliant. You shone like nothing I'd ever seen. Whenever I see you, Ladybird,
I love that
I'm
nickname.
reminded of that moment.
Ladybird and Yurikins.
And in that moment, I had never felt so filthy and unlovable in all my life.
Aww. Feel so bad for Yuri.
That's why you don't like singing? There's got to be more to it than that.
Back then, the Imperial capital was swarming with disgusting nobles.
Yeah.
All of them vying for your attention. For the love of the Dorothea. Many were willing to compromise with an inferior substitute. If they couldn't have you, perhaps someone else was capable of singing just as sweet.
No. I think I have a feeling of where this is going.
You do what you must to chase your dreams. You say it left you filthy and unlovable, but
Or
my
maybe
life
not.
didn't leave me unscathed either. There's not much love left in what I do. There was once, of course. As a child, I lived for singing. No matter how hard times got, I always had that.
I had been expecting that to dive into Yuri getting abused by nobles, but it sounds like that is not the case, which is for the best.
I counted myself so lucky to have met Manuela and joined the opera.
Yeah.
But the more I sang for a living, the less certain I was that I loved it anymore.
Oh. It sucks to fall out of love with a passion.
You're a tricky one to assess. I can't tell if you're too wise or too naive for your own good.
Maybe a little of both.
Whether or not your heart's in it now, you certainly didn't appear to hate it back then. I'd never seen you beam so brightly as you did when you helped me train for the performance.
You might be onto something. I felt genuinely happy in that moment.
Oh.
You just lost your spark for singing. Nothing more. It's how I feel about it in a way. How about this? Why not join an opera that doesn't have dealings with
Aw.
nobles?
Yeah. Fuck the nobles.
That's a great idea, actually. We'll start something new together, you and me.
There you go.
I don't know about all that now.
Oh no, it's too late. It was your idea. No takebacks.
The world is full of people who fell through the cracks just like us.
I'll bet.
We'll take them in whenever we
Countless
can
numbers of them.
and aim to become Fodlan's premier opera company. I can't remember the last time I was this fired up. Though we'll have to table it until after the war.
Of course, of course. No time to start an opera now with the final battle looming.
Our own one-of-a-kind traveling opera. You know, that does sound fairly thrilling. Have no doubts it could help deepen our pockets.
Leave it to you to take all the romance out of it. But I know you're an idealist deep down.
He is, no matter how much he tries to hide it.
Takes one to know one. I must say, I do enjoy seeing your mischievous side at work.
She's got a nice mischievous side every now and then.
I'll take that as a compliment. I could say the same for you, too.
His mischievous side is always on display, though.
It's exactly why I'm comfortable sharing this stream with you.
Oh. How lovely. Next up, how about Manuela and Ferdinand's bee?
Let's see. Has to be here somewhere.
Bee here somewhere for your bee support.
Oh, my princess. Pray tell, are you seeking a book?
And what was your princess now, huh?
Ferdinand, you should probably settle down a little with the princess talk. Just speak to me normally. My princess
right.
days are long gone.
Because she was the opera diva.
I could not disagree more. To me, you will always be that dazzling songstress, that veritable princess of the opera. From ages 5 to 11, I never missed a single one of your performances.
How old are you again, Manuela?
Seeing you on stage was like glimpsing heaven. I was overcome with bliss.
You're going a little overboard, and I think I may have something in my eye.
Oh, feel good to be praised again, huh?
An elegant coalescence of beautiful song and frenetic swordplay. That was the most memorable aspect for me. On stage, weapon in hand, letting your ballad soar to the heavens.
Yeah, it's too bad we can't see one of these.
Honestly, the first time I held a sword, it was not to train. I was trying to do your sword dance.
I inspired your love of weaponry? How flattering.
And the arrow pierces her heart.
Correct. It is all thanks to you.
Oh, come now. Although I'm honored if my stage presence had any such influence on your life.
Seems it did.
The honor is all mine. You blessed me by returning to my life. No matter where I go, or who I end up marrying, my childhood memory of you is inscribed in the deepest depths of my heart.
Your earliest childhood crush, it seems. That you later got to meet again later on in your life. An opera, that doesn't exactly happen all that. Ever.
Is something the matter?
Oh, nothing. I just feel a little empty inside now.
Oh. Is it because, I'm actually not sure. Get that up to A.
Why, hello.
Alright. A support this time.
How the crimson rain of pain it came,
Oh, hey.
falling hard upon a land aflame, when the sacred blade had split the sky until the heavens heard our cry.
Ferdinand, you're not actually that bad. That was less seemed like opera and more, a little more modern.
In the hour of vengeance, will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge, will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall.
Oh, Ferdinand.
I love it whenever they sing this.
Song.
It's yours, isn't it?
Manuela, hello. What a treat. It is most rare to see you at the training grounds. I have never had the honor of sparring with a princess. Why not grab a sword?
Yeah, she has time to kick your ass, maybe.
Ferdinand, that's called changing the subject.
It is? Tell me more about what changing the subject is.
That song you were singing, is it the one you said made such an impression on you?
So you heard me.
I mean, you were singing pretty loudly.
I hope it was not too grating on your ears.
Nah, it wasn't bad. I mean, it kind of clashed with the background music, so it's hard to really tell, but it wasn't bad, as far as I could tell.
You've nothing at all to be embarrassed about. I'm pleased if one of my songs stayed with you like that. Oh, it really takes me back. I remember the big battle in the first act. How the crimson rain of pain it came, falling hard upon a land of flame, when the sacred blade it split the sky, until the heavens heard our cry.
It would be so much better if they paused the background music for that. It really clashes with the melody there. It makes it almost sound out of key, but I don't think it actually is.
In the hour of vengeance, will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge, will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall.
Damn.
Wow. My heyday is behind me. That's for sure.
Don't have the vocal chops anymore.
No, that was wonderful. Exactly the voice I recall from my childhood. To have witnessed this performance in such an intimate setting, I am deeply moved.
Yeah, I love his childlike fascination with Manuela, actually.
I cannot stop trembling. I feel as though I am going to cry. You have shaken me to my very core.
All right, Ferdinand, relax. I can see that it's affected you deeply.
You made a little boy's cherished dream come true. Perhaps you can help realize one more.
Oh?
Another one? And what would that be?
Would you do the sword dance with me? The one that accompanied the song?
Yes.
It had a part for a male performer, if I recall.
Do it.
I would be truly honored.
Dance with him.
I'm sure I can't do it as well now as I could then, but you're just so adorably you.
Yes, he is.
I can't resist.
His childlike glee here.
Thank you so much. That has long been a dream of mine, and you made it a reality.
I gotta say, Ferdinand, you're full of surprises.
You didn't think anyone would ever admire you this much again, did you?
It was like dancing with a pro. Perfect timing, always in step.
I bet he's practiced on his own.
All thanks to you. You inspired me.
Or perhaps it was you who inspired me.
Oh? So where were you leaving it off, huh? Alright. Finally, this is your last one, Ferdinand. You and Marianne.
Delicious.
Actually, I think that's the same meal I've seen a couple times now. But it does look good. Let's see, we got, I don't know, it's maybe, it's either a sausage or maybe a steak. Carrots, I think. Maybe some potatoes. Are those cucumber or zucchini, maybe? Can't tell what's in the salad. Or what kind of soup it is. And bread with some sort of spread on it, it looks like.
Marianne, may I join you?
Of course you can, Ferdinand.
Yes, Ferdinand. Of course. Is something wrong?
No. Just enjoying your company.
I am sorry, but, you seem very different compared to how you were before.
What, like happier?
That may be true.
No. There's that smile.
Right there. You are smiling. I do not think I have ever seen you smile.
Yeah, that's the joy of Marianne's A supports. You finally get to see her smile. And happy.
Please, you're making me blush.
Aw.
I do not mean to embarrass you. I am just saying you seem to have truly changed.
Well, I have you to thank for that.
Yeah.
In truth, I spent a lot of time thinking about what you said.
Oh.
It meant so much when you told me that everyone has a purpose to fulfill. Even me.
I am so glad to hear you say that, Marianne. I wonder, did you find a purpose for yourself?
No, not yet. But I've been much happier since I started thinking about it more.
That's good. I'm sure you'll find it.
I remembered a time back when I was working at the animal clinic.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of the staff was so thankful for the work I had done.
You, are perfectly suited for taking care of animals. You love them, they love you. You can speak their language, sort of. Not as literally as Raphael was under the impression, but still. You can become I don't think they really have veterinarians yet. You can invent the profession.
Even in something as simple as looking after animals, I was able to make myself useful to others. Thinking about it made me realize that anyone can make other people happy, even someone like me.
Aw. I mean, it's tragic that you have to say even someone like me, but I'm still happy. Just having you happy is what truly matters.
It sounds to me like you have already found your answer.
Yes, it does.
What do you mean?
Taking care of animals.
Making people happy.
Or that.
If you ask me, that is a truly worthwhile purpose.
It is.
You may be right. I just remembered. I wanted to ask about your food.
Oh?
Yes? What about it?
Today was my turn to prepare the meal.
Oh.
How is it?
It looks amazing.
Oh, it is delicious.
It does look great.
The flavor and the texture are superb, so you are certainly making me happy.
I'm glad you like
I
it.
understand that feeling, Marianne. Nothing better than someone enjoying a meal you've made.
I hope you will learn to like yourself. For what it is worth, I like you.
Oh?
Maybe, if you have the time, you can cook something for me again?
It's a date.
For me alone.
It is it's an actual date.
Of course. It would be my pleasure.
This ended nice. These all end nice. Alright, let's see. Who should we go to next? We can do Bernie's and Felix's A1 support.
That's Bernadetta. Those thugs are pursuing her.
Kick their asses. Anyone who dares threaten Bernie needs to eat dirt.
What did the weakling expect running ahead? I can't leave her alone for 1 second.
God damn it, Felix. Bernie's not weak. She can probably kill you.
Really ran us around, little lady. Nowhere to run now, though.
I mean, there's a lot of places to run still, but...
It's all over! I'm done for!
Oh, Bernie. Felix is on his way. But, I guess you don't have your bow on you.
What? My sword!
Ah, the technique.
Oh, was it Bernie who did it? Oh, right, and you wanted her to show you that technique.
No, I can't stand by and watch. You're not hurt, are you?
Felix, is that really you?
Yes, he's really there.
Thank you so much.
much.
Oh no, you do have your bow. I
Finished.
saw your arrows.
You saved my life. I can never repay. Huh?
He wants to know how you did your sword technique.
Shut your mouth and calm down. I should be thanking you.
Felix doesn't have... I don't think he understands the meaning of the word tact.
What?
When you were surrounded, I got to see you use your technique again. I get it now. For just a moment, you flail your limbs like a wild creature. If I could learn to do that, I'd be unstoppable.
What, flail your limbs like a wild creature out in front of you?
In that case, I'm happy to help.
Don't blame your confusion, Bernie.
I would be even more impressed if you hadn't been screaming the whole time.
I mean, it doesn't work if you don't scream, Felix. You gotta really let it out. It's part of the surprising your enemy approach.
Hey, come on! I was running for my life! Don't make fun of me for... Huh? No way.
No, wait, what? There's this shocked Bernie, but what are you seeing?
Why are you staring at me?
You're actually smiling.
Oh.
Not like a sarcastic smirk either. A big goofy grin from ear to ear.
Oh. And she's just super shocked.
You're just a big old nut, aren't you, Felix? Once you get through the shell, there's all sorts of good stuff inside.
I like this more than I expected. I mean, I always expect to like him, but... just a big old nut.
You don't know me.
Aw, there's that shell again.
We'll just have to crack it open, huh, Bernie?
Okay, that's it. Quit making fun of me.
I don't think she's making fun of you.
I didn't mean anything by it. I'm sorry.
Aw. That was adorable, though. I look forward to seeing another two of them. For now, though, Caspar and Dorothea.
Hey, Caspar, care to join me for tea?
I only got coffee, though.
Again? Well, let's make it quick. I gotta get some training in eventually.
More training? Don't you get tired of it?
Tired of training? It's like you're saying words, Dorothea, but they don't line up in a way that makes sense.
No, I don't get tired of working toward my goals, unlike
Oh.
you.
Damn. Just throw down that gauntlet, why don't you, Caspar?
Me? What do you mean?
Your quest for the perfect husband. I haven't seen you wasting time with any dull-looking guys lately.
Oh.
Oh, that. Maybe I just found something worth staying in for.
Aw.
You mean in the monastery? This place is a dump compared to what it was 5 years ago.
Caspar, you are ever blunt and clueless simultaneously.
That's not what I'm talking about. Honestly, Caspar, you don't understand women at all.
No, he really doesn't. He doesn't understand much other than training and fighting. But that's what we love about him.
Well,
He's a big goof.
Excuse me. Maybe I'm just another dull guy.
Oh, that was so close to the, that old Link, that old Legend of Zelda cartoon. Well, excuse me, princess. He even has almost the right voice for it, I think.
That must be why you don't pick up on how I feel.
What?
Yep. Not even.
When I'm around you, I feel like, well, like I can always be myself. I don't need to act differently or flirt or lie. I can just be me.
Yeah.
I always said you were little brother material, but when we're alone like this, the idea of marriage...
I mean, he is very, very much so little brother material. But he's grown up a lot. He's still a little, innocent.
Nope. Hold it right there.
Oh.
I'm gonna need a minute. I was not ready for this.
Caspar, settle. You might be getting the wrong idea.
Oh? You're not proposing?
I was only saying, when I'm with you like this, I can forget all about marriage and just be friends.
Okay.
Huh? Right. Of course.
Though I suppose relationships like that can also lead to marriage.
Yes, they can.
Now I know you're messing with me.
I'm not trying to tease. I was just thinking out loud.
Well, you have to stop being her little brother first, though.
If neither of us ever find our special someone,
Maybe you'll have already found them.
it might not be so bad to settle down and spend the rest of our lives together. What do you think?
I haven't really thought about that.
It's a bit too early for Caspar, I think.
I'm not really the romance type. Spending the rest of my life with you doesn't sound so bad, though.
So bad.
But why are we even talking about this? There's no way you won't find someone great.
Oh, you're pretty great too, Caspar.
Stranger things have
In your own
happened.
way.
Either way, no point in worrying about it now. I'm plenty happy with our current situation.
All right, you both have a backup.
Let's just focus on staying good friends.
Good idea. Here's to us.
Both have your backups in case you don't get high support with anyone else. Let's do Annette and Caspar.
Hey, Caspar. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Well, hey there, Annette. What's on your mind?
Is there anything you pay particular attention to on the battlefield? Stuff you make sure not to mess up?
Well, his scream. Can't mess that up.
I don't want to make any major mistakes again. So I've been thinking about how I can improve.
Oh.
But it's trickier than I thought. I was hoping you could give me some direction.
I don't know if he does love the battlefield, but I don't know if he's the right person to ask for advice.
Nothing I can think of. Sometimes you just gotta mess up.
All right then.
Really? Nothing at all?
Nah, no matter how much you prepare, you're always gonna make mistakes.
That's right. Can't plan for everything.
All you can do is quit worrying and try your best.
But those who fail to plan to fail.
I guess that does sound like something you'd say.
Even if your plans fall
I'm
through.
not sure how much use it is to me.
That's too bad. It's a great way to live. You worry about messing up, and all that worry makes you nervous, right?
Right.
So being nervous on the battlefield is the reason you make mistakes you'd never make in training.
That's actually kind of wise of you, Caspar.
Well, yes. People's lives are on the line. If I mess up, they might actually die. When I think that my failures might put everyone in danger,
Aw.
Ugh, you gotta quit doubting yourself. It's not helping.
I mean, he's not wrong. Self-doubt will cause or increase the chances of mistakes.
You're obsessing about failures that haven't even happened. What's the point in that? Sometimes you're gonna mess up no matter how hard you train. That's life.
Man, Caspar with the surprising life advice. Surprisingly good life advice.
So what you're saying is, I should stop being afraid of failure and just try my hardest on the battlefield, like I do in training.
Precisely.
Was I not clear on that? You just gotta deal with your mistakes when you make them.
Yep. And when you do make them, you learn from them. And see why you made them. And try to address that in the future.
That really is just like you, Caspar. I'm starting to feel stupid for worrying so much. You're so strong and confident. I really like that about you.
He is.
Aw, thanks, Annette. I think you're great too.
You both are great.
Okay, I'm gonna try following your example from now on. It's time I stopped moping around here and put everything I've got into training. Right, Caspar?
Maybe don't follow his example too much. He can be a little bit crazy sometimes.
That's the spirit.
A little too hardcore, maybe.
Let's get out there and train. I'll race you to the stables.
Oh, that's amazing. I love her enthusiasm. They're kind of adorable together. Okay. Now it's Edelgard. Edelgard and Hanneman.
Professor Hanneman, I owe you an apology.
What for? Can't remember if you offended him in the last one.
Whatever for? I'm not bothered by you investigating my past.
Ah, so you knew. You're right. I'm afraid I found it difficult to quell my doubts.
Ah. Well, Hanneman doesn't have much to hide, I don't think.
What happened? It was over 20 years ago. I suppose you had just barely been born.
Yeah?
Now that I think on it. My younger sister was afflicted by a disease of the heart.
Oh.
And she met with an early death. It is easy to lay blame for such things, but I considered crests themselves to be the root cause.
Huh. Is that why you dedicated your life to studying them?
Your father bore a major crest, and both you and your grandfather inherited minor crests. Your sister was born without one, but as the daughter of a family in which crests are prevalent, others saw potential in her. That's why she was married off to a certain noble whose influence was waning. He was undoubtedly desperate for power.
That's a horrible thing to do.
But no matter how many children she bore him, none manifested a crest. She fell from her husband's favor and was mistreated, ultimately leading to...
God damn it.
As an up-and-coming crest scholar at the time, I knew only despair.
Is that why you left the Empire?
What was the use of my research if I could not even save my own sister?
Oh.
That's why you abandoned your position in the Empire and came to Garreg Mach.
God. This game is filled with tragedy.
My sister is far from the only victim. Many noblemen have done the same to their own wives, and I despise them for it.
Rightfully so, I would say. I guess that's why you're not exactly... why you're kind of in favor of, Edelgard's plan. That makes sense.
So my quest began. I would unlock the secrets of crests, make them available to any who desired.
Oh. So you want to be... That's interesting. So that's your actual... That is your actual goal.
If I achieved my goal, the nobility would be rendered obsolete, and my sister could finally rest peacefully.
But Edelgard's plan offers a second path to that. Oh. And so, I mean, continuing your research while also helping her means you're traveling two paths to the same goal. Just makes sense, really.
However, all these years later, I am still far from achieving my goal.
If it's even possible.
A world in which anyone can bear a crest. That's not so different from a world with no crests at all.
I suppose we know it's possible to give people crests, but I don't know if it's possible without the negative side effects. I think most of the negative side effects are from the having two at the same time, but I'm not sure how many of those deaths of those children were from just the implementation process in the first place.
Quite right. And that is why I have chosen to fight by your side.
Yeah?
I cannot say what lies in your past, yet I have seen your ideals and witnessed the power of your two crests.
Yeah.
I feel certain that you too are a victim of this world.
No.
Just like my dear sister.
Yes, she is. But she is doing what she can to make sure no one else suffers. Well, after the war, of course.
Professor Hanneman, please, say no more. I've made peace with my past. Now I look only to the future, to the world we're fighting to create.
That's what I admire about you, Edelgard. One of the things, at least.
Very well. But if you will allow it, there is one more thing I would like to say on the subject.
Shoot. What is it?
When I look at you, I am reminded of my sister, and also of my own youth. Though I could not save my sister back then, I am different now.
Oh?
I can support you and lend you my abilities. I will fight for your cause in whatever way you need.
Damn. You can see the seriousness on his face.
Thank you. That means a great deal to me. Your knowledge and your experience are both invaluable.
They are.
And your passion, too. I welcome
Man,
your support.
Hanneman. You have a lot to offer.
And in turn, I will do my best to earn the trust you have placed in me.
Oh. That was nice. And the one I've been looking forward to for a long time. Alright. Lysithea and Edelgard. They're practically sisters. At least in experience. And hardship.
How are you today, Lysithea?
Doing well, I hope.
Fine, thank you. And yourself?
Also fine, I hope.
Quite well, thank you.
Excellent.
I overheard something recently. Something pertaining to you and your vision for the future.
Oh? About the lack of crests?
Is it really true that you intend to create a world in which crests no longer exist?
Yes, it is. I bet you love that. I know crests are one of your dislikes for very understandable reasons.
It's true. My aim is to dismantle the current system of aristocracy. The only reason nobles enjoy the status they do is because their bloodlines carry crests. If crests lose their value, so will titles of nobility.
I really agree with your thinking.
Yep.
My parents have suffered throughout their lives due to their nobility.
Aw. Yeah, and also those damn snakes.
Due to my own crests, I've never been able to live a normal life.
Poor Lysithea. Okay, we'll make you live.
I'm sick of nobility and crests. Of all of it. It sounds as if it's truly your mission to change things.
Yes, it is.
I'll pledge my life to your cause, however short it may be.
Aw.
Lysithea.
Yes?
Has your hair always been that color, by the way?
No. No, it hasn't.
Huh?
I asked because mine wasn't always
Yep,
this color.
she's telling her.
I lost all pigment after receiving my 2 crests. Edelgard, I want a world where people like you and I are no longer victimized. I want you to bring that world into being.
Of course. Of course, it can also be achieved by just destroying those who slither in the dark.
If it's within me to help that come to pass, then I'll do whatever it takes.
Understood. I promise to do all I can to see this goal to fruition.
For both your sakes. And the sake of everyone else.
And I want you to promise something in return. That you will never stop fighting for your life. Whatever terrible fate awaits us, we can fight it and prevail.
I don't think they've either hinted at or said whether Edelgard suffers from the shortened lifespan as well. She doesn't have the albino eyes like Lysithea does. Perhaps they were able to remedy that with their second attempt.
I need you to trust me on that. Do you promise?
I promise. I will try my best to believe that.
Good girl. Now then, would you care for a sweet cake?
Yes, she would.
Please do not call me that. But, yes. Yes, I will.
Of course. Of course. That's adorable. Alright, I have a few more I can get. But that's it for Edelgard. And Hubert. And Ferdinand. I think Linhart has more. I've already gotten his unless Scythia's. And Marianne's. I'll get his Hanneman. Maybe he's Annette. Alright, got a few more. 2 more specifically, Mercedes and Constance.
What's the use? Even with all I've learned, I still don't understand.
It's giving you trouble, Constance.
Hello, Constance. I hope I'm not interrupting.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Maybe you can help.
Not at all. I was just in need of a sympathetic ear. I found a magical scroll, which, unless I am mistaken, should relieve me of my woes.
Oh? A single scroll? Can restore House Nouvelle? Nouvelle?
Oh, wonderful!
But she can't understand it.
Not so fast. The magic within this scroll is a type I have neglected to
Ah. Damn.
It pains me to admit this, but it may take decades of going back to the basics to grasp it.
That really sucks. Are you certain that this scroll can really do what you think it can do?
Decades? That's a long time to spend with your nose buried in an old piece of
Especially if it has any chance of failure at all.
Why must the goddess dangle a solution before me, only to cruelly pull it away?
Maybe Mercy can help. She studies a different school of magic than you.
There's no need to despair. To tell the truth, I like you just as you are.
You do?
Who doesn't?
Why? Those low moods of mine have never done anyone the least bit
Ah.
of good.
You're like a little sister to me. Nothing you do will change that. Not even a little.
Oh, Mercy just is always so sweet.
Really?
Of course, you're my sweet Constance, and I like you just as you are.
I see. Perhaps my moods are not the great burden I thought they were.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pressure you. No matter what decision you make, I support you.
I felt no pressure, I assure you. It's more that I feel embarrassed to have been embarrassed.
That's understandable.
I'd put so much effort into finding a magical means to alleviate myself.
But the answer was friendship all along.
That it never occurred to me that maybe all I needed was to accept myself.
That's a nice message.
What will you do with the scroll?
Hey, don't throw it away.
Oh, I'll continue to research it, for research's sake, if nothing else. But I may have no need of it. It's not as if these moods of mine have ever hampered my efforts to restore my house.
Yeah. You do most of your studying indoors, after all.
And I am as a sister to you, no matter which face I present, yes?
Always.
Nothing, no mood, no foe, no obligation, will keep me from honoring my sisterly duty to protect you.
Oh.
We can protect each other.
Yes, you can.
Good.
And we can
It is
throw
settled.
Yuritsa in there as well.
Now we can begin the hard work of reclaiming our titles.
Absolutely. We'll become sister sages and restore our houses to their former glory.
House, shoot, starts with an M. Our trees? No, let's see. Bartels is the bad one. Something like that.
You understand the plan perfectly.
I do love that smirk of hers.
If we walk this path together, it can only end in triumph.
Yeah. To triumph into your houses. Okay, Bernie and Felix. Final A support. Let's do this. Learn that sword technique, Felix. And Bernie, crack through that nut of his, that shell. Crack through that shell to the nut.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Inside.
What is it? I'm listening.
Over there! Isn't that a cute?
Oh, it is! That's right, you like cats, don't you, Felix?
Oh, I agree. I don't dislike cats.
No, you don't, and I'm pretty positive I saw them in your list of likes.
Here, try this. It's candy, but I promise it isn't sweet.
Is it sour? Sour candy is great. Sweet candy is great too, though.
No, thank you. Sweet or not, I don't eat candy.
I love seeing Bernie dote on Felix.
Hey, are you busy? I've got this great book in.
And interruption.
What are you doing?
Being nice, trying to see that smile of yours, crack that shell.
Huh?
Why are you so concerned with me?
Does she need a reason?
More importantly, didn't you used to be shy?
Hey, don't try to make her shy again. We like Bernie coming out of her shell. She's trying to get you out of yours.
Oh, I'm as shy as ever.
Then why are you following me around?
I mean, just because someone's shy doesn't mean they can't, you know, come out around certain people.
That's, well, you know how ghosts are only scary because you can't see or talk to them?
Sure.
You're saying I'm a ghost.
No, you're not.
What? No, it was just a metaphor.
There you are, foolish as
There's that smile.
That's it. You're smiling again.
Effort paid off, Bernie.
What?
That's why I've been working so hard to talk to you. I wanted to see you smile.
That is
again.
really just so goddamned. Great.
I'm disappointed. Such a trivial reason. You're pestering me without a hint of fear just to see me smile.
Hey, it's the noblest goal.
You've really
Smiles
grown
are
up.
wonderful. If only everyone could smile.
I guess. Wait, why are you being nice? Did something terrible happen?
Oh. Oh. That's your first thought, huh, Bernie? ...
This is the part where you get angry at me, isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
Come on. You were saying something about a book
Oh,
I should
yeah.
read?
Really? Well, it's
What book is it?
this one, if you wouldn't mind.
What's it about? Oh. God. You know, less of the A supports are explicitly romantic than I thought they were going to be at first. Just interesting. Let's see who I have left to get. Alright, a few more. This is going to be a long one. A long episode of supports, isn't it? We'll start with Linhart and, Hanneman.
Professor Hanneman, do you have a moment?
I think he always has a moment for a crust talk.
Linhart, of course.
Last time we talked, you mentioned the importance of having goals. I gave it some thought, and in the end, I couldn't find
No?
one.
Well, no need to panic. Sometimes a goal can reveal itself to you without warning.
Damn it. They're in Alice in Wonderland again. My eyes just noticed. they're shrinking. The furniture is growing. But yeah, I'm sure you can find a goal.
What's your goal, if you don't mind me asking?
To give crusts to one and all.
Oh, mine? I want to create a world where everyone can access the power of crests, where no one has to suffer from having or not having that power.
It's a noble goal.
Huh. That's a pretty big dream.
Yep. And it's his life work.
But then wouldn't you end up studying everyone?
Yep.
In that world, you'd be killing yourself trying to do research on every person alive.
Ah, you may be right. But at least then, we wouldn't be the only ones taking such pains. The more people who have crests, the more people who will do research.
Ah. I see, so it's self-propagating in a way.
And with more students, the research will progress far faster than it is today. That also means there would be less of the back and forth you don't have the energy for, which should make you happy.
Maybe you can take part in his research, Linhart. It'd be great because then you could help you together remove at least one of the crests from Lysithea and Edelgard.
Maybe so.
Does that still do nothing to pique your interest?
To be brutally honest,
No?
it would be way less exhausting, but less satisfying as
Oh.
well. That's like fishing at a market.
So you at least understand that much. That is why I do research. If someone's going to see results someday, then I want it to be me.
I'm sure you will, though. Well, we don't even know if it... Well, it might be a long ways off.
That's a thought that keeps me moving forward, even when it is difficult to do
You're
so.
not that old, though. Even with your graying hair, you're what, was it, in your 40s?
That sounds like enthusiasm. That's not something I have. But if we work together, I wonder if it would spark that enthusiasm.
Are you saying you would agree to study crests with your old professor?
You'd make excellent research partners.
In the end, I think it would probably be more interesting than fishing alone.
I mean, you don't have to give up fishing. Oh, Flane would have loved it. Could fish together. Maybe in another world.
I don't even have anyone to show any big fish I catch.
Oh, as it were, I feel very much like someone who's made a catch.
Yeah, metaphorically at least.
But the future shall hold even greater things than that. That's a promise.
I believe it. It's a nice bee. Surprising that it's not an A support, since it very much sounds like a shared ending kind of deal. Hanneman and Dorothea.
Professor Hanneman, how unexpected.
Hello, Miss Dorothea. There is something I would like to ask you, should you have a moment.
What is it about? Crests, maybe? Probably not.
And whatever would that be, Professor?
Ah, it's just some rumor I heard about your prejudice against the nobility. You remember when you came to me before, and we talked about how I used to be noble?
Right.
I was just wondering what your aim was.
To clarify, I only hate nobles who are obsessed with their status.
Yeah. Like, well, at least at first, Ferdinand and Lawrence, though. They grew on you.
You're not that kind of man, Professor. I mean that, really. And it sounds like you never were.
No, don't think he ever was.
I see. But hating nobles obsessed with their status, you must have had some terrible experience in the past.
Yeah.
Ah, my apologies. That was rather presumptuous.
No, it's fine. As I'm sure you know, I was a highly praised songstress for a time.
Yeah, and as always, some assholes had to ruin everything.
Before I was a singer, though, I was an orphan. And before that, I was the daughter of a noble's maid.
That I didn't. That's new. The daughter of a noble's maid. I think that's new. wonder what happened, how you ended up on the street.
My goodness. From an orphan to a renowned songstress. That is quite a life you have led, Miss Dorothea.
Yep. And those nobles who would have spat on her, then tried to win her favor.
Well, I don't remember much of my early years. My father was never there, and my mother was driven out of the noble house where she worked. Before long, she fell ill.
Damn it.
I was always alone, and I lived in the alleys of the imperial capital, just trying to survive from one day to the next.
You have come a long ways.
I see.
Eventually, after I became a singer, I met the nobleman that I think is my father.
You know, I was thinking about it. Was her mother... Was this a situation where she was, being courted by the nobleman, to put it nicely? And then the actual... The mistress of the nobleman. And then... was ran off by him after, or either after or in fear of his wife finding out.
Oh.
He'd had a child with a maid, but the child didn't have a crest.
Right.
So he threw them both away.
That's...
Those were his very
somehow
words.
Actually worse.
I can't prove that he really was my father, but I suppose it doesn't matter.
Wow. No, I think I have to be with Ada. The more stories I hear, the more I'm with Edelgard. Fuck crests. And Hammond for that matter. Well, Hammond doesn't want to get rid of them necessarily, but...
He didn't know who I was. And when he flirted with me, my feelings were something beyond...
Fuck yeah.
I was dumbfounded.
You didn't... I probably not. It probably wouldn't have been a good idea. But... probably deserved a punch.
In truth, I felt that way about all of the nobles who flocked around me, yet would just as easily have tossed me away should it better suit them.
Yeah. People like Ferdinand are definitely the exception and not the norm, it seems.
You have my most heartfelt of apologies, Dorothea. I am afraid my curiosity has opened old wounds.
Yeah.
Sadly, it is undeniable that the nobility is full of such terrible people.
Yeah.
Perhaps even myself.
No.
Professor?
Oh, it is nothing. Just lost in a memory of my own.
Oh.
Just know that I will do my part to ensure that you always know kindness in this world.
Oh, Hanneman.
Thank you.
This is a lovely relationship. That's their final one, right? Together. No, they have one more. For now, though, let's do, I guess, Felix's B.
You're following me. Stop.
I am leaving you alone, just as you asked. I may be walking the same way as you,
Dorothea, that's following. You can only happen to be going the same direction for so long before it stops being a coincidence.
What do you want?
You've made it abundantly clear I'm not to want anything from you, including politeness.
To be fair, Felix isn't polite to anyone.
I heard a rumor that you're planning to settle down with a noble. I abandoned my family, so you'll have to look elsewhere. Not much to gain from marrying me.
I just find you interesting is all. Is that
No,
so odd?
he is interesting.
Interesting? I'm not interesting.
No, you're kind of interesting.
I've never met a noble so unsociable, Yes, that's the word. Unsociable.
That is a good word for Felix, isn't it? Unsociable.
Other nobles are quick to be friends, even if it's just because they might gain something from it.
Felix is a noble by birth alone, I think. He cares nothing for that title.
The Empire's nobility, maybe.
Or not.
The Kingdom's nobility is a whole different animal.
Do tell.
If they are, so what? You should care how others think of you.
I guess we'll learn more about the kingdom nobility, though, with the Blue Lions.
Why? I don't answer to them. All that matters is improving my skill. I'll prove my worth on the battlefield. Those people care so much about appearances they can't even see each other. It makes me sick.
Oh, I agree. What's important isn't how someone looks, it's their true nature. I don't pretend to know your true nature. I don't even have a very good understanding of my own.
But you want to learn.
But I suppose you see mine just fine, don't you?
I don't know.
Just a silly girl with no thoughts in her head except for marrying a noble. Yes? Goodbye, Felix.
I don't think he's really given it that much thought. And Linhardt and Annette.
Linhardt, wake up! The war meeting's over.
I think I've seen this one before, but it'll be great anyways. Annette's always great, and Linhardt's always great, so...
What is it, morning already?
Probably afternoon.
Morning is long gone. I said the war meeting's finished.
If that's the case, I suppose I can sleep a bit longer.
No, you cannot! Get up this instant!
You're not getting away from this. Annette will see you up.
Calm down, calm down. I was having a wonderful dream.
Was it a dream about napping? Perhaps crest research, or fishing even?
Oh? What were you dreaming about?
I was dreaming
It was the
about
nap.
having the best afternoon nap of my life, and the dream I was having in the dream was amazing.
Inception.
I thought as much. I have to ask. I'm pretty sure you could do anything you put your mind to. So why do you spend so much of your life sleeping?
It's one of his life's great pleasures for him.
I sleep because I'm tired. What other reason would I have?
No one can be that tired all the time.
Oh, clearly someone can.
Well, not all the time, no. Most nights I'm quite wide awake. Sometimes I get distracted and forget to sleep. Usually I sleep 2 days for every 3 I'm awake.
He has a terrible sleep schedule. And he's also quite the night owl.
Are you kidding me? No one sleeps for 2 days. That's beyond lazy. There's not even a word for that.
Insane. I mean, if you're up for 3 days straight, though.
I can't help it that my sleep schedule fails to line up with everyone else's.
I mean, you probably could help it, but don't want to.
After I did you the favor of waking you up, you could at least take this seriously.
No. Or he is.
Look, putting in effort is how you grow. You know, as a person and stuff. Everyone else is working really hard to end the war. Are you really okay with coasting like this?
Is this... I wonder if you can get this one before the war. And it would be about school and stuff and studying. Kind of...
I'll be fine, Annette. I'll be just...
Oh, don't yawn like that, Linhardt. You're gonna make me go.
Anyway, I'm pretty beat. Talk again soon.
Linhardt, I wasn't finished talking.
Yeah, he's already gone. Don't worry, I'll get you another round with him. Alright, so let's go with... Let's continue our previous conversation. Linhardt and Annette.
There's nothing like a morning stroll to take in the fresh air.
You're telling me. I adore that feeling, Annette. Especially on a cool, crisp morning. The sun just out. Maybe dew on the grass.
In the thicket there, is that a human foot?
I hope not. Oh, it's Linhardt. Oh, it's great.
Sorry, Annette. I was really out.
Hey! You shouldn't surprise people like that. I thought you were an undead corpse.
Almost blasted you with Turn Undead.
Why are you sleeping out here anyway?
Oh, that wouldn't do anything to him anyways.
We're in the middle of a war. Doesn't that seem dangerous?
He doesn't know the meaning of danger. Well, also, he just scared them away. They would think he was an undead.
Middle of a war or no, you'll not defeat the Master of Dreams. He's a fiercely strong enemy.
Mr. Sandman. Bring me a dream.
Stop joking around. What are you even talking about?
No joking, I assure you. He is quite unstoppable. Or perhaps you know his weakness?
I do. It's called coffee. It's known to... It fights against... He can't stand it.
You really never change, do you?
No, he doesn't.
You sleep just as much as ever. Do you even remember what I told you?
You told me something? When?
And you did just... to be fair, you just woken up, so you're probably in a daze.
Of course you don't. I told you that putting in effort...
Is how you grow. Is that the one?
I guess he does remember.
So, you do remember?
Should I not have remembered?
You are a hard nut to crack, Linhardt. For some people.
No, it's just... You should put your talents to use elsewhere, that's all.
Have you been speaking to Hubert?
Ha! Wonder who that would have been if this wasn't the path we were on. Obviously, it would have had to be replaced with someone.
The truth is, I place effort in what brings me joy. I'm happiest that way.
No, that's not... Okay, let me put it this way instead.
Yes, probably for the best to rephrase.
Working hard for other people helps you grow as a person.
Yeah?
Do you not get the urge to work hard for other people? Like when you helped me before?
Yeah, every now and then he does.
Not as such. Why would I go through that effort? For what gain?
I mean, you do every now and then, Linhardt. You moan about it, but you still do it.
For the gain I mentioned. That it helps you grow as a person.
Oh, I see. Well, then continue working hard for my sake. For example, waking me up today.
Oh, Linhardt.
And I suppose I will try to do a little bit more for you, too.
Aw.
I find working for others to be annoying, yet I wish to make an exception for you. I hope that's all right.
I would make an exception for Annette as well. She is just so sweet.
Just for me?
Indeed. You're the only person I'd bother helping. I could wear myself out helping you. Forever.
Aww.
What about it? I'll be there for you, and you can be there for me.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
I mean, it's Linhardt, so don't read too much into it, but...
What?
If we're doing our best for each other and all, then that's just a bit like... Just kind of like... like a marriage.
Oh, Annette being all flustered.
Huh. You know, I feel as if you might be able to wake me up every morning. No small feat, that.
As though I would marry a man who can't even get up in the morning.
We'll see, Annette. We'll see. Hanneman and Dorothy. Let's learn a little more about you guys.
Dorothy? Dorothea, my dear, you must be tired from the extended fighting. May I get you anything?
Thank you, Professor Hanneman, but I'm fine.
He did say he would always try to make you feel, what was his words? What were his words? Loved? Appreciated? Something to that effect.
You don't appear fine. Make sure not to overexert yourself. The war is not yours alone to fight. You have friends to rely on. We are here for you, always.
Thank you, but I really am fine. It's nice to know you're always thinking of me, though.
It would be really interesting if he was her father.
Well, of course. You're like a...
Like a what?
Nothing. You're a very good friend. That's all. And once the war is over, I want to be sure you have a pleasant life.
I wouldn't be able to imagine him throwing someone out on the streets, though. He could have been a different person, though.
Is that so? It sounds like you're getting a little ahead of yourself, planning for the end of the war.
Ahead of myself? No, I don't think so.
Oh? You sounded like you were building up the courage to give me something. Something, small and round and ring-shaped?
No. No. I don't think that's it.
Uh-huh. A ring, you mean? Well,
Yes, rings are traditionally ring-shaped.
Oh, no. Am I wrong?
Dorothea, he is like 3 times your, well, actually no, maybe only twice your age, but more importantly, I'm starting to get this suspicion that my feelings were, or the feeling that my suspicions are true.
I'm so embarrassed. I misunderstood.
Oh my! That's what you were thinking. I've misled you. I see now I phrased things just all wrong. I had no other intentions, I swear. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I could forgive you if you proposed properly. You got me excited, you know?
Doll.
But I haven't.
It's okay. I'm just teasing. Don't look so scared.
Dorothea.
Teasing? Ah. Well, of course.
It's nice just to know you care about me.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk more about the future in the future. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Why, it sounds lovely. Quite lovely.
Is that how we end it? I guess we don't find out. It'll just have to remain a suspicion for me. It's just that his comment about maybe I am that kind of person after all. After she told him her story, was when I first put the first doubt in me, or the first suspicion. And then there, how he almost said that she's like a daughter to him. I don't know. Well, let's go ahead and do Felix and Dorothea.
You, get over here.
Damn.
Get over here? How about I tell you to get out of here?
Like I said, Felix does not know the meaning of the word tact.
You're always following me around. At least make yourself useful. Let's spar.
Ah.
What? Are you serious?
I don't think he jokes around much.
I don't joke.
Yeah.
Draw your weapon, unless you intend to fight without one.
I mean, she's a magician, so...
If you want to train, then do it on your own.
Though she can learn the sword quite well. Does have the budding talent for it.
If you don't attack first, I will.
Okay. If you want me to knock some sense into you, who am I to say no?
Yeah.
For someone whose only aspiration is marriage, you're pretty strong.
Is this your attempt at flattery? Oh, it is, isn't it?
Maybe.
When I was in the opera, I always trained for self-defense. Couldn't really get by without it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if you can't use a sword, then you're just in the way.
I mean, there's other weapons you could choose, but yeah. Swords are easy to keep on your hip, I suppose.
Perhaps I had you all wrong. I thought you were just a frivolous girl who cared only for men of status. On the contrary, you seem well aware of the realities of the world. I respect that.
It's not easy to earn Felix's respect. Mostly it has to be done through sparring.
Yeah, all right. I'm beat. I'm going to go sit down and relax with a cup of tea. You'll join me, naturally.
Of course. Well, he'll probably complain about it, but of course.
I will.
We
Yes, you will.
trained together. Are you really going to turn me down?
He wanted to, but don't let him.
Just this once.
There you go.
Let's go for tea. While we're at it, shall you treat me to a meal?
Don't get carried away.
Just the tea, then.
No, you're no fun.
He's Felix. He doesn't know the meaning of the word fun. Just spar, sword, and train. Those are the 3 words he knows. One more for them. Let's see though, who else am I gonna get? I've gotten Lawrence's before already. I think I got Manuela's before as well. And if not, I can get it next time, since we haven't even started it. Petra's finished. Bernie's finished. I think I did Linhardt and Lysithea and Linhardt and Marianne last time as well. Caspar's finished. Ferdinand's finished. Hubert's finished. Edelgard is finished. Alright, a few more. Just a few more. I'm running out of renown. So, it really is only a few more. First, Yuri and Constance. Since they already had one of them. So I should be able to get to their A.
Hey, shady lady.
Oh, I haven't heard this in too
I
long.
see you're working into the wee hours.
Shady lady.
I have asked you before not to refer to me that way.
And that is precisely why he does.
Right, whatever, sorry. Anyway, what kind of bizarre spells are you weaving?
An excellent question. It's a brand of spellcraft many have dreamed of, but none have achieved. A revolution in magical theory.
Ooh, do tell, Constance.
Revolutionary spellwork, huh?
Steel yourself for this.
Consider me steeled.
The working transforms leather boots into licorice. The old serviceable shape with a new, sweeter taste.
Interesting spell. Very revolutionary.
That's certainly something. I'm sure you'll ravage the economy with this one.
The sudden influx of licorice and a decrease in boots will surely cause mass mayhem.
So, why boots precisely?
Hey, why not?
I was inspired by your suggestion that licking the nobility's boots would fulfill my dream.
I think you took that a little too literally.
I went to my chambers to discreetly taste my own boots. They were less appetizing than I had hoped.
Ah, so you turn them into licorice so that you can proceed to then lick them.
The thought of licking boots day in and day out was revolting. But then I thought, what if?
It is amazing that... Never change, Constance.
Tonguing licorice boots rather than leather ones would make the whole ordeal much more palatable.
As long as you like licorice, of course. I'm with you on this, Yuri.
This is no
no run-of-the-mill penny ante black magic. This is something new. Black licorice magic. I could lick the boots of 100 nobles if they all tasted so scrumptious as licorice.
I can't tell how just... whether she's being serious or, just messing with Yuri here.
Are you some kind of damn fool?
Maybe a little.
The common mind often has difficulty distinguishing between genius and idiocy.
Sometimes the blur, the line between those two things is quite blurred.
You set me the challenge of licking boots, and I would say that I have risen to it ably.
You can't deny you there.
Correct. I told you to do that. But I think you took what I said just a bit too literally.
No, it's better this way, Yuri.
Then how did you mean it? Does the licking not count if the licker enjoys it?
It's mostly something you do by way of acting subservient. I'd even lick the mud from your boots, my lord. Get it?
What? Are there nobles so depraved that they would take satisfaction in such a thing?
Yeah.
There sure are. I've licked a boot or three in my day.
Not literally, though. But wouldn't it have been so much better if they were licorice?
Indeed? Oh, did it not turn your stomach?
Well, of course it did. There's hardly any dignity in bootlicking. Talking to you is truly entertaining.
It really
You're
is.
A special kind of strange.
Yes, she is.
Many a noble in my life, but none like you.
None like her. Constance is just... I hope she gets her house back. She deserves it.
I was just dealing with a bunch of them, so the difference seems especially stark. Though, I guess you're not technically a noble at this point, are you?
Oh, low blow.
You were dealing with nobles in the dead of night? Wait, what? Did you just call me strange?
Yes, he did.
Oof, I'm exhausted.
And he also said you're not a noble.
Don't work too hard, milady.
And I love sarcastic or playful teasing Yuri there.
I did not give you leave to go! Ugh, his rudeness knows no bounds. But I'll have my revenge. Perhaps by exposing his business with these nobles.
Uh-oh. This can only end poorly. Or hilariously. Maybe both.
He'll rue the day he loosened his tongue in front of me.
Your evil laugh is excellent as well, Constance. Let's finish off you two.
So, Felix, is the tea to your liking?
Oh, continuing right where we left off, I presume.
It is.
Didn't know you were a tea man, Felix.
It's nice to relax like this every now and then, isn't it?
It is.
A man of many words.
You said some of your equipment is damaged, didn't you?
It is.
It is.
Oh, she's trying. And failing. To make this less awkward.
Are you not in the mood to talk?
Felix doesn't do talking.
We could discuss your family or what's happening in high society. Flavors of tea? Your favorite jokes?
Doesn't know. Doesn't have one. What are jokes?
None of those. I already told you, I don't joke.
Of course, only cynicism.
Yeah. Probably at least partially because of what happened with his brother and father. He's got family issues.
Oh, I know. We're holding a small opera in the cathedral soon.
Oh?
I'll be singing too. If you're interested in... but of course you aren't.
Oh, maybe he is.
You can sing?
There you go. There's some interest.
I'm sorry. What did you just say? Can I sing? I was only a diva of the Middlefront Opera Company, that's all.
Sorry, he doesn't follow pop culture.
Oh, right. I forgot.
You forgot. Am I that uninteresting to you?
I think everyone is that sound interesting to him, unless they can fight.
What must you think of me?
You're insincere and loud, is what I think. But you do make a good sparring partner.
That is the highest praise Felix can bestow upon someone.
And a good tea companion.
There you go.
Oh.
Anyway, when's the concert?
He's trying. He's just not very good at this. He's very insociable.
It's an opera, and you don't have to come.
You just invited me. You can't tell me not to come. That's for me to decide.
Then you must be there. I'll sing my heart out just for you.
Doll. Really trying. I mean, Bernie got through that nut. Got through to that nut, but she's a little more successful than you, Dorothea. I'm sorry to say.
I haven't said I'll go.
Are you going to come or not? If you keep teasing me, I might just pretend to cry.
Fine, I'll go.
Fantastic. I look forward to it.
What an interesting pair. Not how I expected that support to end. Let's see, we can certainly get theirs to finish. Don't have enough for any of them. Maybe Balthus and Lysithea. Unfortunately, I do not have enough for Balthus and Lysithea. So this will be my last support, I think. Except for a few Byleth ones.
Remember when you mentioned briefly that you'd been in conference with some nobles?
Did you find out?
Did the topic of conversation happen to be me?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't the foggiest idea what you're talking about.
You can't play coy with Constance, Yuri.
Don't be coy with me.
Oh, hey.
I recently received an offer of support from the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Oh, he was helping.
Bravo! Your dream of restoring your house is that much closer now, isn't it?
That's sweet, Yuri.
We shall see.
That's really
My
sweet.
response is on hold until I could confirm something first.
Hmm?
You sound as befuddled as I feel. These are events you set in motion, are they not?
I think they are.
I want only the truth from you. Lie to me and you shall be incinerated.
She's probably being literal there. Careful, she might turn your boots into licorice.
That doesn't leave me much wiggle room, does it?
Nope.
All right, I'll tell you. So yeah, I might have been negotiating with some nobles. Maybe. Possibly.
You do recall that I have nothing I can offer you in return, yes?
No, only your wonderful personality.
Of course I know that. I just did what I needed to get what I wanted. Like always.
Explain.
You really are a Robin Hood. Heart of gold.
All my life, I've known how to angle to get everything I've ever wanted. Money, social standing, the whole kit and caboodle. See? That's how the savage mockingbird lives. Ever since I was a kid. It's how I've done things.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with... Wait, are you admitting to being the savage mockingbird?
I take it that's a well-known deviant.
And I find myself
Ne'er-do-well.
wanting in on this house of yours. The one you've yet to rebuild.
Oh. Oh.
What? No, wait. You haven't yet answered my question about the savage.
Preened as this bird might be, his only home is a dark, wet back alley. As long as I'm me, nothing can change that.
Huh. Damn. Yuri and Constance.
So I figured if I could leave that home of mine and live simply as Yuri, even if only for a while, you know, I might like somewhere proper to return to. Somewhere cozy, comfy even. Better than House Row, where last I left from.
I'm not sure what you're insinuating here.
Oh, he's insinuating a few things. Get ready for it, Constance.
I'll get your house back for you. And I only ask for one thing as payment.
Your hand.
Once House Nouvelle is back in good standing, I want a home there.
Just be careful when you're asking for her hand. Make sure to specify as in marriage, or she might, hand you her hand.
You mean you wish to join House Nouvelle? But the only way to do that...
Marriage. Bingo. Quick, easy, simple.
Marriage. It's what brings us together.
You and I.
And love. True love.
You heard me. It's a fine enough trade. What's the problem?
I mentioned nothing about a problem. Where did you get that notion?
You're awesome. That's where.
I've always found you very useful, though I could do with less, much less of your back talk.
No, that's one of the charming traits of your relationship.
I suppose Milady doesn't want a rogue for a husband. Can't handle all that is Yuri,
Guess not. Well, I don't know if you can handle Constance either. Oh, you do a decent job.
No, but there is a procedure to this sort of thing. How can you join my house when I have none?
That's why it's a down payment for the future.
What? You want to do things in order? How boring. I suppose we'll be lovers for now.
You mock me! You mock me and I will not have it!
Me? Mock? I'm being sincere.
He is the mockingbird.
I'd never live out another dull day with you by my side.
There is quite a bit of truth to that.
That is my only fear. A life
Oh
spent
my.
by your side may be more taxing than I could stand.
Oh my. Hey, oh.
Seeing you so flustered provides endless entertainment.
It really does. I love all these. But damn it, that's it. Just one more. Well, let's see. I can get, I can worry about Annette and Felix's for the blue lines. I've gotten Lawrence's, I believe, already. And if not, I can get it next time. I've gotten Marianne's. I've gotten Shamir's before. I should get Aloise's, if I can. Oh hey, here she is. Somewhere, there it is.
Professor?
Manuela. It is a good time.
So I said, two can play at that game.
I'm missing some context here.
I told him, a small-time little weasel like you ought to be begging me for attention.
Ah, more romance troubles.
Oh, it gets me so mad, so worked up. Why aren't there any men around here who understand what a catch I am? Come to think of it, you've always been nice to me.
Manuela, my heart belongs to Edelgard. I'm sorry.
I mean, you listen to all my problems. I feel like I can really trust you. I don't have that kind of thing with a lot of people.
You're a close friend.
Right, I got it. I knew you'd say we were just friends. I'd like to maybe talk about this once the war is over. Once we're all safe.
Ah.
All right, enough of this moping around. What we need is a change of mood.
Oh? Dancing? Disco? Karaoke?
We've still got a lot to do together. When I think about that, what are one or two men?
Oh, you made yourself sad. What's wrong?
What's wrong is it's not just 1 or 2 men. It's more like 100 men, maybe even 200 more.
You haven't gone through every person in the monastery yet, have you?
I'm completely... Oh, I can't get out of this mood.
Aw.
Actually, I've got an idea. Exercise will help.
Yeah, get your mind off things.
I'm going to the training ground. Come on and give me a hand. Gonna work my anger out on 100 training dummies. Maybe 200 if we've got them.
That's a lot of training dummies.
Okay.
Interesting. Manuela, you changed. Suddenly. And my final support. Until my S, I suppose. Alois.
Ah, there you are. Hello.
What's the matter, Miss Gerald? You don't look as cheery as usual.
Oh, yes. Apologies. I'm struggling with some unpleasant thoughts.
Aw, what's on your mind? Maybe I can help.
Since the war began, I've ended so many lives.
Yeah.
You and your students got your hands dirty as well.
That's true. I guess you missed the days when you could just have fun.
Nobody forced you all to join the fight, of course. You did so of your own volition. Still, there must be something very wrong with the world for it to make children into killers.
So happy that I recruited Alois and I don't have to fight him. But yeah. It sucks. I know what you mean.
That's true enough. We've all gotten older. Ah, listen to me. I'm sorry for being so glum.
It's okay. Even you can't be cheery all the time. You're more handsome when you smile. You're handsome when you brood. Nah, when he smiles.
Well said. In truth, I don't think any expression will improve my looks. I'm a brute, no matter what face I pull.
Nah. You're a catch.
You
wife
really
is a
are
lucky
just
lady, I
like
think.
Gerald. When I was down in the dumps, he'd cheer me up with a playful quip.
Oh.
He gave me his library of jokes.
Oh.
But when I tell one of them, nobody laughs at the punchline. They
So
laugh at me.
we have Gerald to thank for for all of his jokes. Thank you, Gerald, for gifting the world. For gifting the world Alois. Alois's jokes.
You, on the other hand, well, you inherited the old man's comic talents.
I don't know about that. Violet doesn't really tell jokes.
I'm feeling pretty perky now, all thanks to you. I can't stop this war by feeling gloomy about it.
That's true.
Onward, to a brighter future.
Here's hoping, Alois. Here's hoping. Here.
To tell you the truth, that was another line I picked up from Gerald.
You really admired him.
He taught me everything about life. He was more important to me than anyone in the world.
Aww.
Apart from you, perhaps.
God damn it. You're making me blush.
Come on, no need to blush. It's the truth. When I look at you or see you fighting in battle, it's like I'm seeing a sibling.
Yeah. Both children of Gerald, even if you're not blood related.
But at the same time, it's like seeing something sacred and powerful. Something I must defend.
Ah.
You're so important to the future of Fodlan, and to me. I promise to continue protecting you with the strength of a knight and the love of a big brother.
God damn it. You are the best big bro a Byleth could ask for. I'm counting on you.
Good. In the name of Geralt, I swear to keep you safe. You're welcome to return the favor, should you feel so inclined.
Don't worry, I'll keep you nice and safe.
Professor!
Oh, it's almost sad that... I mean, that was a lot of supports. Several hours worth, I think. But it was fun. And that was my last seminar. A woman who has to look out for herself. Yes, allow me to refine my sword technique so I can handle those who get too close. There is a place for a sword in the performing arts too, you know. No, I'm sorry. Warlock it is for you. Not that it makes a difference at this point.
Look, Professor!
We got some more at the end.
Forms the next.
Wait, -5. Well, no. I was gonna say that might not be a bad idea, but quite frankly, you're just not fast enough for it to matter.
The battlefield has much to teach.
Nice. Now that one is really useful for you.
Age is but a number.
What did you get to, Hubert? Oh, that was S. That's right. My last task for the month is to spend my money on making sure my weapons are the best they can be.